Hi, in this video we'll quickly learn how to install and set up a MongoDB instance and how to load some sample data and start querying or using MongoDB in within just 5 minutes. So here I'm on the MongoDB website. They have different setup files for depending upon the operating system for Windows, Linux and Mac OS X as well as Solaris. So here we're going to look how to install this on a Windows machine. So I had went ahead and downloaded the setup file that needed. So here I'm using the Windows 64-bit 2008 R2 server. Um, I had went ahead and already downloaded the setup file. Now I'm just going to go ahead and launch the setup. So installation doesn't take much time. It's pretty easy and straightforward. I'm just going to go ahead and choose the complete option. It needs the administrative privileges on the server itself. So we went ahead and finished the installation. Now we are going to actually start an instance of MongoDB. So the way we're going to do is that we're going to start by launching a process called Mongodb, which is responsible for starting an instance of MongoDB. So within a computer or a server, you can launch multiple instances of MongoDB over different ports. So by default here it uses a port called port number for 27017. So we're going to let it be that way. All we're going to do here is pass the database path where it's going to set up the data files and log files, and we're going to pass a parameters called small files, which is responsible for initiating the files and make sure the files are small in size. And I think that's pretty much needed for to just start the instance. So I'm going to go ahead and start this instance. As you can see, it started the instance, and it's waiting for connections on the port 27017. So on the other instance of a command prompt, we are just going to go ahead and uh, execute a process called Mongo, which is responsible for connecting to the database and provides a shell environment to query the MongoDB. So by default it connects to the default port, so we don't need to specify any parameters as we are running with the default port and on the local machine itself. So let's go ahead and run this simple command called show dbs. It shows the different databases available on the server. So right now we only have one database called local. So for the sample data, we're going to go ahead and download this files from the United States Department of Transportation. It provides statistics of different flights over the time of different different carriers. So the information that we are downloading is a summary based on a carrier, on an airport, by by month, the amount of flights delayed, and as well as the amount of time delayed. So I had went ahead and downloaded the file here. So using a Mongo import shell, we're going to actually import the data. So the way we're going to do is first of all, in order to import the documents, we need to execute a process called Mongo import, and make sure that what database are we going to import this data. Here I'm going to choose airlines, which although this database does not exist, the Mongo import will actually create a database called the database called airlines, and a collection called delays, and the type of the file is CSV, and the location of the file is here. And we are going to also pass a parameter to let the Mongo import know that the header line, there is a header line, and we can use that header line to actually create the fields based on the header line. And also we're going to import the document as an array. So that means each document, each line in the CSV file actually will be created as a document in the collection. So let's go ahead and open another command prompt instance and launch this process. So here it imported 9143 documents. So let's go back to the shell here and run this same command called show databases, which should show the new database that we have actually imported, airlines. So let's go ahead and use this database and see what's inside it. So we switch to the database airlines, and we're going to see what collections exist inside of the database by using a command called show collections. So here we have a one collection which is the delays, which we just imported, and there is a default collection called system.indexes which exists in every database. So let's use the delays and see how the data looks inside. So here db.delays find one actually finds the first document and displays here. So here is the data. So we have successfully imported the CSV files. We have successfully installed the MongoDB instance and launched an instance of MongoDB on our local machine, and we also have downloaded the data from the United States of Department of Transportation and imported the data from CSV to JSON documents. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you have learned something new today.